let's just start off with the NBA segment of this show. 11 games tonight, and Jim, let's just start off with hit us with the pick that you think is the most interesting to you right now.
Most interesting, I guess. The most exciting is I'm going to take the Bucks to cover against the Celtics tonight. We all watched what happened to Gordon Hayward last night, and it was difficult to watch, and my heart goes out to him and all Celtics fans. It will be interesting to see how the Celtics handle the adversity. Kyrie, Brown, and Tatum need to do the heavy lifting. But this Bucks team and the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo is not going to care that the Celtics are hurting. And I like this team. They're a tough group. I like Maker. I like Monroe at the 5. I like Brogdon, Snell, Middleton are nice pieces. I expect a lot of this team. I'm going to be curious to see if there's a Celtics letdown. And the line has changed in a way I was not hoping. It's all the way down to 3.
So you were hoping that Hayward would be injured and they'd be like, yeah, go ahead, take 5.5, whatever the hell you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I thought, I guess at a 3-point line, it might make more sense. Now, we do have a 5.5 line somewhere. We have it here at Wagers.
At Wager Web, right? And that is an error in SBR odds, and unfortunately, we're not allowed to take the errors in SBR odds. If we could, that would make SBR odds massively valuable, to put it mildly. But unfortunately, you cannot.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make sense to take the 3 points, so I'm just going to take the money line.
The money line. Oh, the money line. Okay. Yeah. Let me just find out what that is. And damn it. All right. I'm going to have to because I have to sign in. Damn it. All right. Hold on one second. I'm having I'm just going to have to do a little bit of all right. So the money line. So you're gonna take the. Let me just. God damn it.
Getting a plus 133 at Pinnacle.
Yeah,
it's the best one that I'm seeing out there. I don't know if you can find something better.
I just need to because because SBR odds is customizable, but only if you're signed in. And for whatever reason, when I loaded up SBR odds today, I was not automatically signed in as I was. All right, the best line would be plus 133. Yes, at Pinnacle. Milwaukee, Boston, plus 133 at Pinnacle, Jim.
And that's what I will be taking. And I'm not sitting here very confident in that pick, but I just think that I'm curious to see how the Celtics bounce back. It's tough going back-to-back early in the season. We saw that in hockey. The first 4 or 5 times we saw teams on back-to-back, they lost the second half of a back-to-back. And I'm on the Giannis Antetokounmpo wagon. I've got him at plus 900 to win MVP this year.
Yeah. Well. Oh, really? Oh, nice. I mean, definitely. The Bucks are a team on the rise with a ton of talent, and they were a team that I was actually pretty successful betting on last year, as well as the Sixers. That was one thing that I did well last year. I took the Sixers as a huge underdog. Remember last year they were covering a lot of those huge underdog spreads. Team with a lot of talent. All right, so we'll start you off with the hold on, let me just we'll start you off, Jim, with that pick, and now let's go to the Sixers game, because I was thinking that once again, starting off the year, they're maybe getting a little bit, even though everyone knows how much talent they have and how much potential they have. Washington, a quality team, but once again, the Sixers catching 7 points. Feels like last year all over again, just maybe a few too many points to be given them, right? What do you think?
I studied this game very closely. The Wiz kept their nucleus together in the offseason. I think that's going to help teams that have done that, and there's a bunch of them in the NBA. Otto Porter made the big jump last year. Markieff Morris provides much-needed toughness, and he's out of the lineup. Right. That's going to hurt them. But we know that if Joel Embiid can stay on the floor, then look out. Now, they have said that they will only play him for 16 minutes.
Sure, but they got a lot more than him, though. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I don't know what you mean fully. I think he is their everything. I really do. With Embiid on the floor, the Sixers outscored their opponents by 3.2 points per 100 possessions. They allowed just 99.1 points per 100 possessions when he was anchoring the defense. That mark was better than the number 1 ranked Spurs last year. After saying all that, they only went 13-18 with him in the lineup. Jahlil Okafor had the league's worst net rating last year of minus 14.5 points per 100 possessions. Embiid is very upset about only playing 16 minutes. He's very upset about it. So maybe he can squeeze a few more minutes out. But until I know he can play 25 minutes a game, I'm going to stay away from the Sixers.
All right. I mean, they got Simmons and Fultz, and so they just got a lot of young talent. And you're right; it's not exactly clear which of that talent will pan out and be live up to live up to the hype and the expectations. But that is a tough one. But I will make that one an official pick, and it will be a +7 -105 at Pinnacle. Best line and bookmaker bet DSI +7 -105. You feel like that's a little bit of a mistake there, Jim, or?
No, I don't. And I was humming and hawing about this game for a long time. I need to know that Embiid's going to play more than a quarter and a half of a basketball game.
See, I think that the fact that his minutes are limited means that he's going to be, motivated to play super well than the other guys, and I don't think they're going to win necessarily. I'm just saying they're catching 7 points, right?
Well, we got some interesting notes here, even in our forum right now. Some people believe they got a lot. Some people don't.
Yeah.
The Okafor isn't playing.
Right.
But the Delta says 76ers are deep.
Yes.
Robinson Yepes says Fultz is struggling coming off the bench. They are deep but have no chemistry, says Justin Searcy.
Right. And those are all obviously very good points and points that I considered. They're deep with potential, not deep with realized talent, obviously. And yes, I know Fultz has a shoulder injury, and Simmons has no offense, though. Okafor isn't playing. It's all true, all about Embiid. Embiid is on a minutes restriction, yes. Listen, I'm going to take look, I'll take him at +7. It might be a loser. I'm notoriously bad at NBA long term, but I'll start out, just with that. Justin Searcy saying, "Name the scores." Yeah, you're right. Good points. Good points. I can't put my money on them just then. Justin Searcy, they are deep. Justin Searcy making a lot of anti Sixers comments, and I'm not really feeling good about my pick now, but I made it. I'll go with it, and I'll stick with it. Why don't we shift the focus here and go to you, Jim? Why don't you hit us with a pick in the NBA?
Sure. I've got a pick here, and I'm going to take the Mavericks on the point spread to defeat the Hawks. I'm excited to start the Dennis Smith Jr. era in Dallas. Cuban says he's the fastest player in the league. We know Carlisle doesn't love young talent, so it'll be interesting how many minutes he gets to play. Seth Curry's hurt. But Matthews, Harrison Barnes, Nerlens Noel, I mean, this is a better Mavericks team, and we got Dirk Diggler coming back for a 20th season. I think this Hawks team is going to be awful. Schroeder will have a lot of speed at the 1, and I'm interested to see Dedmon start at the 5, but that's it. They're going to be really bad.
Yes.
Mavericks have been, good at home. They were good at home last year, even though they had a bad squad, 33 and 49, I believe. But I just think this is a good spot. I think Mavericks at home, I think they're going to destroy them.
Yeah, I was thinking that way myself. I'm just pulling up my my NBA picks here because I can't even remember which ones I like. Yeah, I did take that one, and I also took the over on that one. I know that Dallas is that Atlanta's going to have some issues scoring. Probably, but I'm agreeing with you. 6 points is kind of a lot, though, but not enough to push you off of it, huh?
No, and I'm comfortable with the 6 points.
Okay, -6, -103 at Pinnacle is the best line for now, and I was definitely leaning that way. And I was also thinking about just the Dallas team total over because I was leaning Dallas, towards the over anyway. And let me find what that would be at Pinnacle right now. 101. What do you think about that, Jim?
I like it. I like the Dallas over 101. I think that's a sharp move.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure that if they're likely to win by a margin, then they're probably going to get to 100. I'll put that one as a pick as well at Pinnacle over 101 -110. Dallas Mavericks team total over.
I'm going to tail that action.
Really?
I think that's a very sharp move.
Okay. All right. Hopefully we won't get burned by that one. And just one word of caution. In all sports so far this year, Jim, of course, I have been killing it, absolutely on fire. Long-term tailing my NBA picks has been a colossally stupid thing to do. So just keep that in mind.
Well, I'm going to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, right. All right. So hit us up with another one, Jim. What else do you like here?
Okay. I've got some people around the office didn't like this play. I believe in this Memphis Grizzlies team. I have them in the over at the 37.5 season win total. I took some Some people didn't agree with that call. I like the Grizzlies tonight. And I'm going to take them. I don't know why everyone is down on this Grizzlies team. I love Conley and Gasol at the 1 and the 5.
Right.
Yes, Tony Allen is a big loss. It'll be strange seeing him in a Pelican uniform. But Zach Randolph is old and slow. Fitzdale wants to change the tempo, and now he's going to be able to.
Right.
This Pelicans team has no depth whatsoever. Rondo's going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season. The Pelicans look like they're going to start Ian Clark at the point. I don't know how that's going to work. Is J. Rue Holiday ready to step up? I don't know. Can Darius Miller be a starting 3? I don't know. I don't think so. I like the Grizzlies. I like the Grizzlies a lot here. This Pelican team has no depth after Cousins and Davis. And I know the preseason is nothing, but they just beat them by 40.
Right.
I know that they didn't have a very good preseason until that 142 that they put on them. But I like this Grizzlies team. And now I could be making a mistake because I was so successful with them last year.
Right.
We will see that, and we'll be consciously aware if that's happening. But I really like it. And I'm going to take the Grizz. And let's see what my best move here is.
Memphis Grizzlies. Well, let's see. The best line that I'm seeing would be minus. Well, you could get -3 plus 102 or 2.5 minus 110.
What about Heritage here? -2.5 at -105.
Nope, that's -110. We don't use their. That's like a the 5 dimes lines. We don't use their ridiculous. Yeah, the 10 cents lines.
Okay.
I mean, they put them up at SBR odds, but that's only if you don't take any of the other bonuses and stuff. So I will get
better at recognizing that. My fault. And I will take -2.5 at -110.
Okay, -2.5, -110. And I was thinking about. I understand your thoughts. It's a very, very interesting game. I was thinking, as you mentioned, the pace, and I actually made the over on that one of my top picks on my account. What do you think about that, Jim? It's a little bit of a high total, but as you said, they already played a preseason game that went soaring over. What do you think about the over at 206.5?
I think that is a good move. I do question New Orleans' pace. So I think it is a good move, though. I think it's safe to say that the Grizzlies are going to be running. And Holiday can move the ball quickly. Ian Clark is a speedy guy. So I think that's a good play.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right, I'll think about that one. I'll hold off on it for now. A lot of other interesting games for sure. I don't know if you looked at Portland Phoenix. Did you look at that one at all? Or
oh yeah,
that's a very interesting one, obviously, right? Phoenix, a lot of youth and a lot of excitement there. Supposedly they're going to be playing a lot of fast-paced game, trying to hit a lot of threes and a lot of youth, and just an interesting team to start the season. And Portland, of course, also a team that has high hopes for the season, looking good. Although, as we know, McCollum is out. That's an interesting game. I was thinking maybe a surprise upset by Phoenix here. What do you think?
Wow, that's an interesting call. I like the Suns, and I had them to go over in their win total last year, and they didn't even come close. I love Devin Booker and this young nucleus they have: Josh Jackson, Dragan Bender, Marquise Chris. These are kids. These are teenagers. Like, how are we gonna? I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, they're going to slowly turn the team around, but I don't think it's going to be a quick move up the standings. I'm excited about the Blazers. A full year of Yusuf Nurkic, and he lost 30 pounds in the offseason. The Blazers were 14-5 last year in games he started, but McCollum loss is big, and the Suns are going to be running, and they're going to have a lot of hope. I mean, I like it. Would you take the spread or would you take the money line on that?
I don't know. It's mostly just an interesting game that I am looking at. I mean, I definitely have the Suns circled as a team that at some point I think this year is going to have clear and sustained line value. It might not come at the beginning of the year. In fact, maybe it's more likely to come in the middle or the end of the year because they have a young, as you said, all those young guys probably are going to be a little bit, getting their feet wet to start the year, and then as the malaise sets in for some of the veteran teams later in the year, that's when they'll be really coming into their own. So
there's a lot of talk about the over here on the forum. It seems like a whole bunch of guys are hammering the over, and I get it.
Yeah,
I understand why that would be a move. I really want to watch this team play And I'm curious to see how the Blazers handle no McCollum.
Yeah, it is a very high total, but again, it'll be we know what the Suns are expected to do here, and they should have the horses to do it. People are excuse me, people are asking about the Spurs. That's an interesting situation, obviously, because no Kawhi Leonard, but the Spurs, first of all, they're getting younger, and second of all, if you didn't learn this 7 years ago or 5 years ago, you should learn it now. Whatever you give Greg Popovich, he winds up doing something with it, and always scary to bet against the Spurs. And actually, when there are roster reasons to not like them so much, I feel like that's when they have the most value. You have anything to say about the Spurs?
I think you're right. I think they have the most value without Kawhi. I like the Spurs here. I came very close to making this an official pick, and I held off. I'm extremely excited to watch the Wolves play. I'm from Toronto. I've been living in Toronto lately. I'm from Canada, from Vancouver. But Andrew Wiggins is a hero of ours, and now they've got guys around him: Jimmy Butler, Taj Gibson, Jamal Crawford, Jeff Teague, and already adding that to Karl Anthony Towns. Now, my feeling is these teams who made huge moves on the offseason will have difficulty being a cohesive unit. But we saw the Rockets handle that with ease last night. So maybe that's not the right foot to stand on. I think the Spurs are giving you a lot of value right now.
Yeah, that is a tough one. And I'll tell you, Minnesota, you talked about before yesterday about how in the NBA your reads on teams, good or bad, often define your seasons. And I felt like my read on Minnesota was a little bit off last year because I was expecting them to be more consistently, better and undervalued than they actually were. I felt like there were a lot of situations where I expected them to be a good bet, and they kind of let me down more often than not.
It's funny you mentioned that. I had the exact same problem with the Wolves last year. I had higher expectations, and they kept letting me down, and then I stayed completely away from them in the second half because I just had no idea what was going on. And I don't know how Jimmy Butler is going to fit in. I mean, there's only one ball on the court. I'm very curious to see how they handle all this.
Imagine if we were doing the show with only one mic. It would be a totally different situation,
well,
right?
We'd be sitting closer, though.
Give me that. All right. Yeah, it is tough. You got to, these guys all have big egos. They all have to learn to play with each other. And that's kind of like why Popovich, I think, is so great, is because he finds guys who he knows. He has a sixth sense for knowing who's going to do well in his system. And a lot of times those guys are not big name guys, so he's not putting together a bunch of 20-year-old phenoms and then having it all fall apart. He puts together a bunch of like 28-year-olds that you never quite heard of, and just they somehow get it done. Or like 36-year-old veterans who, seem like they should have been out of the league a couple of years ago and somehow still contribute a solid 18 minutes. Like, damn, he just gets it done. So, yeah, that's an interesting game. I'd be leaning Spurs as well, but there's no way I'm going to bet it. It'll be interesting to see how they develop this year. All right, what else do you want to – any other picks you got for us, Jim? We don't have to touch on every game, but any other picks you want to talk about?
Yes, I have one more pick, and I probably should have opened it with it. I just didn't think it was as exciting, but it's the pick I like the most.
Okay.
This is my official pick. I have the Pistons tonight at home to defeat the Hornets. I'll take the line's beautiful. I love the spread.
Yeah, just 3, and it moved down a little bit actually from an opener of 4. It's just 3. The best line we would give you would be 3 minus 105 at Bookmaker Bet DSI.
-3.
-105.
-105. I love it. I think Avery Bradley is a really nice addition to this team, led by a big man, Andre Drummond. You have an on-ball defender, and you have a rim protector. I just think this is going to be nice. I think that there's going to be value in the Pistons this year. I bet you their defense is really strong, so we might find some unders that we can hammer.
I was thinking about under in this one, actually. What do you do? If you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, I see why you would think that. The Hornets are going to look really bad out of the gate without Batum and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I don't know how Kidd-Gilchrist is dealing with a personal matter, so he should be back soon. And Dwight Howard is on yet another new team. This guy gets passed around like the girls at the Hotel Del Rey. I think that the Pistons are going to be valuable. And as you can see right here, I got my Pistons Detroit, only the strong survive shirt. I love the city of Detroit. I love the state of Michigan.
Detroit.
And I think the Pistons are going to give us a lot of value this year. And
you love Detroit, huh? Why you love Detroit?
I love the city. When I first stepped foot in Detroit, I could see sort of the struggle, and I felt instant compassion for everybody that was still living in this city and all those people who paid mortgages for so long and then found out their houses had no value. I felt instant compassion for all the people in the city, and there's some restaurants there I love, and it was my absolute pleasure to go down there. I tried to get down there once a month, and I love going to Comerica Park. And I can't wait to go to the new stadium that the Pistons are opening up tonight. That's another big thing. And we saw what happened when the Red Wings opened up that building. They won easily. Yeah, I'm going to ride the Pistons early.
You know the classic Detroit anthem, "It's So Cold in the Deep"? You know that one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, great song. Great. Yeah. It's so cold in the deep. How the fuck do we supposed to keep peace? You know that song. Great song. Classic. Yeah, I agree with you. I actually have some friends who live in Detroit, and they love it right now. They say, and they're like upset. They're like worried that it'll get ruined somehow if the rich people come. But yeah, I have some friends who absolutely love Detroit right now. All right, so -3, -105. I was thinking about the under and maybe the Charlotte team total under. What do you think about that?
I think that's a good move. Now, people on the forum don't agree with me. Delta 75 says the only team Bucks beat in the preseason was the Pistons because they suck. And if you value the preseason in the NBA, you're going to lose a lot of money.
All right. Well, yes. Yeah, that's a tricky game. I would be leaning Charlotte team total under. -3, -105 though is a line we're going to give you, Jim. I think I'm going to take it kind of easy on this one. I've already given Philly, which I'm already feeling very nervous about. I am with you on Dallas on the team total over, and I might just stick with those two plays. You've got a bunch of plays going, Jim. Anything else you want to add?
No, those are my 4 official plays.
Okay, review them just so it's clear, just so everyone remembers.
Absolutely, I will. So my first play was well, I'll just go down in order. So I got the Pistons -3 at -105. I got the Bucks on the money line at +133, and I'm nervous. I'm very nervous about that call. I've got the Grizzlies at -2.5 at -110. I'm very confident in that one. And then finally, I have the Mavericks -6. Oh, I have 5 plays. Sorry, -6 at -103. And then I have the team total over that I rode with you on, over 101 for the Dallas Mavericks.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm on Philly +7. Again, I am now feeling pretty nervous about that one, but we'll see. And I'm also on the Dallas team total over. And I guess my leans that I'll stay off on would be the under in the Charlotte Detroit game and the Charlotte team total under. Man, I'm really kind of liking the under 203.5 in the Charlotte Detroit game. You think that's a little bit of feedback if you can, just to help me, because I don't want this to be like one of the like the Golden State game where I just don't have the balls to give it and then it cashes and I'm whining and complaining tomorrow.
You know, I think obviously the problem with the Pistons is they're 2-3-4, and so they're not going to be scoring a lot. And if Reggie Jackson steps up and shows he can be an elite player in this league, I would be surprised. He's enigmatic. He plays when he wants to play. And then we know that the Hornets without Batum and Kid Gilchrist are going to have more trouble. And Howard is going to be banging down low. Howard and Drummond are going to be banging down low. They're going to be getting fouled a lot. They're going to be missing foul shots. I like your call on the under. I think it's a good call. I really do.
Okay, and then final thoughts once again on the over in New Orleans, Memphis. I was thinking about that one. Do you think that that's just an overreaction to reports of Memphis playing a higher pace?
You know, that is a good question. I feel like we need to see it before we can start hammering it. We know that it's what Fizdale's wanted to do, but we need to see it. And then the other problem is I don't know who's going to distribute the ball for the Pelicans. With Ian Clark there, I mean, isn't he pretty much just an outside shooter? I don't know who's going to be passing the ball around. So if I was going to pick between the two, which I like the best of those two leans, I would go towards the under in the Hornets Pistons over the Pelicans and Grizzlies. But I like them both. I think those leans you're having those leans for a reason.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the first half under in the Charlotte Detroit game. It's 102.5 or 103. Heritage has 103 -110. So I'll take that one. First half under 103, Charlotte and Detroit. So that makes 3 plays for me. Philly +7, Charlotte Detroit first half under 103, and the team total over for Dallas. And Jim, you got 4 plays, right?
I got the 5 because I've tailed you on the over 101 with the Mavericks team.
Okay, so Jim's got 5 plays. I've got 3 going in NBA, and I guess we can wrap up the NBA segment, right? I guess should we look at
unless there's any games that you guys want us to break down?
Yeah, Delta, a lot of comments. Delta, because a lot of people in here follow the NBA very closely and have great comments. Delta, that's what I'm thinking. Delta 75 saying it's possible Memphis wins like 111-90 and kills them. Yeah, which is why I was thinking about the Memphis team total over instead, which is 104 minus. Oh man, that is tempting. 104 -109 for the Memphis team total over. Ooh, that is tempting. Yeah. What do you think? All right, I guess let's just yes, and there you go. Delta 75 said Memphis team total over, maybe. All right, you know what? I will. Because he gave such a interesting such good comments there. Gosh, what do you think? What Memphis? I mean, you love Memphis, and you think they're going to get it done offensively, right?
I do think they're going to get it done offensively, but I need to see this faster pace.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Memphis this year. I think we're going to get value with Memphis this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I see it. I get it.
All right, that's it. I won't take it. I'll just take the 3 picks that I just gave. Jim's got 5, and let's wrap up the NBA segment. Of course, this is going to be going on all season long. A hell of a lot of hemming and hawing about is that too many points? Because the NBA is so tight. You know what I mean? Some team you're like, ooh, team total of 103.5, or getting 6.5 points on. It's really stressful.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.